let's get to the real meat. So
Uh-oh.
Once you have...
That's not the real meat?
No. Once
we got more stuff?
The budget
I gotta come down for this. All right, let's get to the meat.
This is it.
All right.
Now that you're saving money,
okay,
and you have an emergency fund.
Okay, you got an emergency fund.
Now you can invest in the stock market.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Okay. Let's go.
We always talk about how the rich get richer.
Yes.
Everybody says, oh, because they in that stock market and
Yes.
the rich get richer. Yes.
Yeah.
You need to be in the stock market too.
Come on.
Single mamas.
Come on.
Not even the single moms, everybody listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the table. I'm pumped today, you guys, because we want to keep it real, relevant, and relatable. Yeah, I want to keep it real today because I'm excited. I have a young lady I just met. You all know my spiritual mama, my Nashville mama is Mignon, and she texted me one day, and she was like, hey, I have someone you need to meet. She needs to be on your show. And a week and a half later, she is on my show, thanks to my producer, Chris Wright, who I texted him and said, hey, we need to get her on the show ASAP. And he made this thing happen because her story is absolutely amazing. She is a phenomenal woman. So, yo, I want you right now to hit subscribe, and I want you to share this video with someone, because today I am completely honored to have my new friend in the building, Dr. I'm saying it one more time. Let me get close to the mic. Dr. Lakisha is in the building.
Thank you so much. Woo! Wow. I need that every morning. I'm just going to play that every day when I wake up.
Listen, when you and my mama sent me your story,
yeah,
I was touched. And I was like, yes, I got to get my sister in the building. You have your PhD. Mm-hmm. You are an author. You are a wife. Mm-hmm. You are a mother. And I just wanted to share with people with your story. And when it comes to your story, for those of you all just now tuning in and listening, this amazing woman pretty much saved and invested $750,000 in less than 4 years. Let me say this again. She saved $750,000 saved and invested in less than 4 years as a single mother. She's married now. We're going to dive through her story, but I do not want you all to leave. I don't want you to go to another podcast. I want you to rock with this because we're going to keep it real. She has an amazing story. This money wasn't given to her. Mm-hmm. She worked hard. She went through some stuff. So I'm going to call you Doc. Dr. Lakisha, let's go back to 2017 because I read a little bit about your story. What happened in 2017 that kind of woke you up?
Oh, man. So in 2016, things got rough in my marriage. Okay. And we decided we needed to separate. Wow. And we did in 2016. And in early 2017, I realized that I had all the bills.
Wow.
The mortgage was $2,410 a month.
$2,400?
$2,400 a month. Because you have to realize, I came from a humble beginning. Okay. My mom had me as a teenager. She was 17 years old. She dropped out of high school.
Wow.
My dad did graduate high school, but then he went on to the Marines to try to make a better life for us. Okay. But we had very little. Okay. And life got too tough for my mom. Wow. And she had to get help with others in the family and pass me on to some other people to take care of me. Yeah. So I'm not used to having anything lavish or having more than just enough or, food stamps and government items, right, to help us through. Yeah. And so when I went to college, thank God, I was able to go to college and got my degree from Tennessee State University. Okay. That changed my entire life. Yeah. And so then I was like, wow, Mama, I made it. Got married, got the big house, the nice cars, traveling the world. Yeah. Like, wow, we have money, we can spend it. Even though at the time I didn't realize how severely underpaid I was. But once I was, we were married and we were doing great and we had good credit scores and money, paychecks coming in, we were enjoying the money. Yeah. Well, once we separated and we're going through the divorce, unfortunately, all those household bills I inherited, right? So that house and all of those bills surrounding a big 5-bedroom house, I inherited all of those expenses. And I realized at that moment, oh my gosh, this is taking me back to my childhood. Wow. When I'm just swimming in debt, just needing to get from up under this, the stress, the worry of not having enough, all of those feelings came rushing back to me. Yeah. And I had to do something. Yeah. It stressed me so bad, the anxiety around it. I had to do something. Yeah. So that's what I was going through at that moment. That very insecure feeling, even though I had a job, but I knew, because I only had $5,000 cash in the bank. And I know for a lot of people, that's like, well, that's something. Yeah. But not when your mortgage is $2,400.
Right.
That's just your mortgage.
That's just 2 months of your mortgage there.
That's not even your electricity. I mean, January,
food,
$350 electric bills,
right? In a 5-bedroom house, right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I had to get from under all of that, and I said, I have to sell this house. And that was step one, because I knew I had to get from under the biggest expense first.
How did that make you feel, selling a home that you lived in with your husband, with your family, a mother of two boys, all this responsibility now was on you when before you shared it?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel emotionally as a single mother?
You know, I'll be honest with you. It was a relief.
Was it?
For me, and people ask me that, why would you? And of course, my family said, you need to do everything you can to keep this house. And I said, for what? I'm house poor. All of my money is going into the house. Have you heard that term, house poor?
Now. Yeah.
It's like, I got this big house. I'm not happy in it.
Come on.
I'm just paying to have a house that everybody thinks, oh, it's a nice house.
Yeah.
I can't survive in this house. It's swallowing us up.
Wow.
So I felt a relief, and I sold the house, and I moved into a small 1,000-square-foot 2-bedroom apartment. And I had never felt more secure, believe it or not.
1,000-square-foot apartment with 2 boys.
Yeah. They share a room.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I grew up in a 3-bedroom home with a family of 6. Me, my brother, and my sister shared a room, and that square footage was only 1,200 square feet.
Right.
So I totally get it. I mean, you do what you got to do to be comfortable, to survive.
I wanted to start fresh. I wanted to start over and rebuild from the ground up. And so I wanted to go back to that young Lakisha that just had the necessities and rebuild my life from there with what I really, truly value. Because I realized the big house on the hill, I didn't really value that. It was just something that, it was...
was it a statement piece?
It was. It was like, you know, I really needed to get to a place where I could rebuild my life in a more sustainable way. Wow. And so that's how it all began.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Before we get into how you really got to... $750,000 in 4 years, because I'm looking forward to learning your method behind you do this. I have an idea how you did it, but you did it. So I want to talk to you about that, because I want to say this for those of you all listening right now. What she's about to teach us, and I'm saying us because I'm a student always. I can learn something all the time. What she's about to teach us, you need to get a pen, you need to get a paper. As a matter of fact, you need to really turn up the volume. Get off of your phones, get off social media, and I want you to write this stuff down. Because if she can do it as a single mother, you can do it as a single mother. You can do it as a single person. You can do it as a couple. But before we go there, Dr. Keisha, I have a lot of single mothers who follow me. Some of them are depressed. Some of them are confused. Some of them they need some encouragement. What kind of encouragement would you give someone single right now who is a single mother, who went through a divorce, who unfortunately had babies out of wedlock, and they're feeling a little down? You're married now, so you have a partnership, but if you can go back and speak to yourself, what would you say to encourage you to push forward, to still go after your dreams, to know better is coming, to help them understand God is still with them? How would you encourage that single mother?
I know what she's feeling right now. I've been there. I've been in that house alone in the bed when the children go to their dads, and I'm sitting there alone, and the house is dark, and it's quiet. And there's nobody there but you and God. I've been there. I know what that feels like, to just cry myself to sleep. I know what that feels like. And so what I would tell her is there is a brighter day coming. You have to pick yourself up, not just for your children, but for you. I felt like no one was going to want me anymore. I had 2 children, single mom, And he helps take care of the children. We share them equally. He takes care of them.
That's good.
I don't get child support. Never, not child support, no alimony or anything like that. We share them equally, and he does his part. I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely.
But there's nothing like still being alone, still being a single mom, having those boys. And I just want to tell the women, don't think that your life is over. It's not. It's a new beginning.
Yeah.
It is a new beginning. And this time, you have an opportunity to really, truly work with God.
Yeah.
This time.
You're teaching good.
And say, God, give me what I need, not what I want.
Ooh.
Because the first time, I wanted what I wanted. Oh, I want tall, dark, and handsome, basketball player, fit, blah, 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 blah. That didn't meet my emotional needs.
Yeah.
And it ended up failing. Because I know what my emotional needs are. And if you don't get with somebody who can meet your emotional needs, then it all falls apart. And your spiritual needs, it all falls apart. So you need somebody who truly is your best friend.
Yeah.
And if your emotional need is conversation, if you like to talk for hours on end, you need somebody who wants to listen for hours on end.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody who doesn't want to sit and talk and listen, that's just not going to work in the long term. So you got to really invest some time in understanding yourself. What's your personality type? What type of personality type matches well with that, right? And ask God to help reveal those things to you and reveal who is meant for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and start from there. That's what I would say. Don't think that just because you had this hiccup, this bump in the road, this bump in the road is short term.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have to have faith. And faith means you have to believe something you haven't seen. It's unseen. So you have to believe it, honey. There's a reason that you are, and I can say that because I've been there. I was so broken. Counseling, spent so much money in counseling. Children through counseling. Okay, I'm a big proponent of counseling.
Yeah.
You got to get it out.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then you pray for what you need. Ask God to heal you. And then everything will work out and you would be surprised. So as our mama says, Mignon, she told me, she was preaching to me. She said, Keisha, you have turned your divorce into dividends.
Ooh.
I said...
Ooh. I like that blue right there with that. Turn your divorce into dividends. Oh, my Lord.
Okay.
All right, that right there. That's a good one.
But that's the truth. It's the truth because I got so serious about cutting those expenses. I was on fire about it. And if people haven't heard about the FIRE movement, they can read about it on my website, KeishaSimmons.com, or they can just Google FIRE. Financial independence, retire early. Because when I sold the house... Believe it or not, I made less than $35K on the house. It was a big house, but we didn't live in it for very long, and I was lucky to get that even out of it, considering real estate fees. So I said, well, I've got a little bit of cash. At that time, I had about $125K in retirement accounts, okay? In 2017. So I had a little money in retirement, but think about it. At that age, for all those years I had worked, that was not a lot of money.
It wasn't.
That's not a lot of money. If people look at their retirement accounts and say, all the years I have worked, and that's an exercise I want everybody to do. I want you to stop, not right now, finish listening to this, but later, I want you to list out from the year you started working. I started working at 14.
Okay.
So at 14 years old, think about how much money you made in that year. And every year, how much money have you made? And add up how much money you have made in your lifetime. When you look at how much money you have made in your lifetime, you've made a significant amount of money.
Absolutely.
What do you have to show for it?
Ooh.
What do you have to show for that amount of money?
And you know what's so good? Right now, Dr. Keisha, because we're catching them at the right time. So my average listener is in between 18 and 34 years old.
Perfect.
That's the average listener of my show. The main person that listened to my show is a 33-year-old woman. Okay. And so what you're saying right now, I really want you to hear me clearly, you guys, when you are listening to this. If you're listening to this show when you are 20, you have time. Yes. You can take advantage of what you are going to learn on this show.
Easily going to be a millionaire.
If you're 33, it's not too late, but you don't have time to be playing.
Right.
And so, I didn't invest in my early 20s. I did the math a while ago. I think I started working at 14. My first job was at Taco Bell in Oceanside, California, up until 27 when I started investing because my financial advisor told me to go do that, right? I had made a little over $1.5 million. And I had nothing to show for it. I had a repossession. I had kicked out of my apartment. I had nothing to show for it. Because I was trying to impress so many people. And so and he said, all right, so let's do this. 1.5, take away taxes. Let's just say you would have invested, 15%. He said you could have $500,000 or more in your investments already. And I was like, what? And when he said that, he said, you gotta attack this. You gotta get your savings up, da-da-da-da. And I remember when I first got here and started making the kind of money I'm making now, he was like, no, he said, save cash, put down on the house, do it right. So that when you invest, there's no turning back. You can go full throttle.
Exactly.
And so let's go there because I know you're a part and you rock with the FIRE movement. And I love what they're doing over there. And I read something on your thing too. FIRE means, break that down for me, FIRE again.
Financial independence, retire early.
So you have the capability of retiring early, but you're not because you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so I like that. So the method is, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the most important thing with FIRE is that you have choices.
Yes.
Think about it. Right now, when you get up and you go to work, do you want to go? Do you feel like going? If you say to yourself, man, I got to go on this job again today, that means you're lacking choices that you wish you had.
Yes.
So while you do have the wage and you have the opportunity and you have a job, which so many people don't right now, and I'm sensitive to that.
Absolutely.
Okay? While you do and you can, make that money work for you.
Come on.
Make that money work for you. Let's not overconsume. And it's easy to do. It's like the money just seeps away somehow. It just seeps into cracks and crevices. So let's figure out what we can do to stop the bleeding and shift your mindset from spending to saving to investing.
Cool.
All right? So one of the main things that I would say do is make sure you have a budget. And I know people hate that word, and they've seen it, and they're like, oh, here she go with budget. But seriously, what I like is an Excel spreadsheet. Get you an Excel spreadsheet. Pop those formulas in there. What you starting with, get your paycheck, pay stub. All right, what was my gross? Subtract my health care, subtract my taxes, my Social Security, et cetera. All right, this is what I'm bringing home. If you have your 401k, subtract that out. This is what I'm bringing home. Now, what is it that I'm spending my money on? What are all my utilities? What is everything that I'm spending? Take a hard look at that, and then you can move forward with reducing your expenses. You can't really do that if you don't even know where your money's going. So,
Now, when you do the budget, people, they have a love-hate relationship.
They do.
With me or with the word budget. Because I'm always telling people, like, where there is no vision, that's where people perish. And I believe it's the same for our money. Where there is no vision for our money, that's where the money is perishing. Like, it's just gone because there's no vision. We have the budget when it comes to how you got your $750,000. The first thing you did was you sold your home, moved to an apartment. So pretty much you started the philosophy of living below your means.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to live as far below my means as I possibly could.
Love it. Then once you got there, you got on a strict budget where you literally just roll things out and line item by line item. What was the next three? What is the number three? What did you do to get to $750,000 in 4 years?
So this is important. So, of course, I cut a bunch of expenses, So even where I grocery shop, cut my children's hair.
I saw a video of you doing that.
And people went crazy. All the men DM me, who's letting you cut their hair? I bet it was bowl haircut. And they had jokes for days. And you know what hashtag I started using? Laugh all the way to the bank. Laugh all the way to the bank.
Today's haircuts, it's expensive. It's $20 for a kid right now. It used to be $5 for me back in the day.
Then you tip them, and then you drive there, and then you sit there. And let's face it, barbershops are not welcoming for the single mom. As a single mom, I hated going to the barbershop.
I'm curious why. Did you feel all the eyes was on you or something like that?
Yes, the eyes. And it's just it's just so much masculinity in there, and it's some of them are clean, not all of them are very clean, and it's just a different experience from going to a salon that we're used to. It's just uncomfortable. I'll just face it, it's uncomfortable. So things like that, I started doing myself, my hair, my nails. Not this hair because I wanted to get special hair to come on the show, but typically I do my own hair. You know, I know how to keep. And my stylist that I use, she makes sure that I know how to do my hair. So if you go to a stylist, go to someone who teaches you how to do your hair. So that you can do it and maintain it on your own. So now let's get to the real meat. So once you have,
that's not the real meat.
No. Once
we got more stuff.
Want the budget.
I gotta come down for this. All right, let's get to the meat.
This is it.
All right.
Now that you've saved the money,
and
you have an emergency fund.
You got an emergency fund.
Now you can invest in the stock market. Hallelujah.
Let's go.
We always talk about how the rich get richer.
Yes.
Everybody says, oh, because they in that stock market and the rich get richer. Yes.
Yeah.
You need to be in the stock market too.
Come on.
Single mamas.
Come on.
Single mamas. Come on. Not even the single moms. Everybody listening.
Yes, I like that. And you know, one thing I love about what you're teaching, I looked it up online. I'm looking at it right now. I knew the numbers, but it actually went up. The average person will live until the average age of 79. Men will live to about 74. That's what it's saying, the average, right? And the retirement age for the average person is 65. So you work all this time to only enjoy 10 years. And I love what you're doing because you're saying, hey, at 30 years old, at 20 years old, if you make all the right decisions early on, retirement is not an age, it's a financial number. It's a financial number like you.
It is.
You know, it's like, hey, how much money can you invest and save? And when you hit that number, you can retire.
You have a choice.
You have a choice. So where it's like, hey, okay, I can retire at 50.
Exactly.
And then if I do pass away, unfortunately, which I'm hoping all of us on the show will live to 100, you know, but if we do pass at 79, at least we can enjoy the last 29 in peace, you know? And so this is why your message is so important, why I wanted to get you on the show. If you can get to $1 million in investments, you know, you can live off of the inch of that.
Exactly.
If you are debt-free, if you have a fully funded emergency fund, that gives you options. And it can be like yourself, like, hey, I love doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing it. And the moment I wake up, I'm about to hit this over the thing. The moment I wake up and I say, you know what, I don't love this anymore, I can go. This is so, so, so important. And this is why you guys, you have to listen to what Dr. Keisha is saying. Like, if you're 25 and you're listening to this right now, get out of debt, live below your means, stop trying to impress people just so you can look good, but then you're stressed and you have nothing to show for it. Do not get to 70 years old. You have 9 years to live on average, on average from what the numbers are saying, and you have only $100,000 in the bank and investments because you didn't make the right decisions at a younger age. And so I know you got more than $750,000 now because that was in the past. It was only going up. And I met your husband. He's real cool people. So, you know, I know y'all are definitely everyday millionaires, but it's like, this is what we want to do. What's the next thing? Because we only have like 5 more minutes.
All right, so let me just drive this home.
Drive it home.
And say that some people are going to say, oh, well, she has a PhD. Oh, she's a Six Sigma black belt. Oh, well, if I made that much money, surely I would have that much money too. But I want people to understand it's not about my number. It's about your number. Your number could be different than my number.
Absolutely.
Right? And I have been severely underpaid.
Come on.
So somebody's going to look at that and say, oh, surely she makes $200K. I've never made $200K in a year.
Come on.
I've never made that money. This is with all these side hustles that as a black woman, I'm overeducated and underpaid for the same jobs as my peers.
I got you.
And we all know that. That's not something I'm making up. There's facts. That's facts. Everybody knows that. And so I've had to hustle whatever to try to make more money to put into the stock market. And over time, it pays off. I'm wrapping this up. 2017, the stock market was up on average around 21%.
It was.
In 2018, it was a negative year. About a negative 4%, I believe it was. 2018, 30%. Where can you go and get a 30% return on your money?
So good.
Because people are saying, oh, she's not saving that much money by shopping at Aldi, which I shop at. Now, I do shop at Aldi. That's where I shop, okay? If Aldi don't have it, I don't need it right now. Yeah. But where can you go to get 30% return on your money?
Yes.
And it's not every year.
Yeah.
I want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
And then even in the year of the pandemic, 2020, we saw a return of 15% from the S&P 500.
Let's go.
15%. Where are you going to go? So, and if you can, work your way up. What I tell people to do is start slow, because you asked me this earlier. Start with up to the match from your employer.
Yeah.
And then each year, try to add 1 to 2%.
Gotcha.
If you get a raise instead of getting a bigger house, add that 2 or 3% into your retirement. And over 5 years, think about how much you'll be putting in. Before you know it, you'll be maxing it out.
Absolutely. Man, you hitting on some good stuff here. So. You really are. And one thing I love about you is you was like, hey, unfortunately, as a minority and as a woman, your pay was a little different. You were underpaid. But one thing I love about you is I didn't hear excuses. You was like, hey, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to make the right decisions. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be the best in my field. And I'm going to save. I'm going to invest. I'm going to live below my means. I'm going to do what I have to do for me, my kids, my family, and for my future. And I love that I didn't hear any excuses from you because are things unfair? Unfortunately, they are. Yeah. But here's the thing. The White House doesn't control my house. No. We control our houses. We control our decisions. And that's whether you're black, white, Hispanic, whoever. You control your destiny. Take control of it. And when you do that, you will be successful. And I'm like you. I don't come from wealth, you know. Yeah. I work hard. And I bust my butt. Yeah. And I'm gonna provide for my family. And that's what we're gonna do. So I wish we had an hour. Yeah. Because I mean, you are going, you guys. I want to encourage you all to get Dr. Keisha's book. It's called The Unlikely Achieve Her. Let me say it again. The Unlikely Achieve Her. 11 Steps to a Happy and Prosperous Life Workbook. She is absolutely amazing. Definitely an educated woman and really winning. And congrats on getting married here recently. Yeah. And so I'm loving it. When I first heard about you, you were single, and then now you're married, and the brother walked into the studio, looked at me up and down like, what's up, bruh? Yeah, I came in here with my wife, my queen. I ain't sending my queen nowhere by herself.
Yeah, he's protective.
That's a good man.
He protects me. He does.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when I get married, I'm gonna do the same thing. Yeah. I'm gonna walk in there looking up and down too. Like, what's up, bro? You good? Yeah, this mine. But I'm excited for what you all are doing. Thank you so much for coming on the show. How can people learn more about you and your platform?
Yeah, I'm all about giving back. And so please go to LakishaSimmons.com. There is a wealth of knowledge there. Yeah. I blog and I write, and every time I learn something new, I share about it. I also do, Isaac and I, we do a wealth discussion once a month. First Friday of each month. Love it. We've done it all year. And you can come on Zoom and we talk about money. We put a book with it, and we talk about these very things, and everybody can chime in and get encouragement, inspiration, and learn tips, so that we're all in this journey together, right? So we need to help each other and support each other. So LakishaSimmons.com. Obviously, I have workshops that I do live to help people. We work together in small groups on Zoom because I really, 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 really want my people to learn these things that we just were never taught.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Well, you guys, this is The Table. We do this every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to keep it real, relevant, and relatable. And y'all, we kept it real today. You know, a young lady who came from nothing to where now she's, pretty much an everyday millionaire and just building her wealth with her husband, for her family, and helping people like yourselves. We're going to drop all of her information in the show description. So make sure you go check it out. Check out her book. Check out her information. And don't forget, the caliber of your future will be determined by the choices you made today. Make the right one so your tomorrow can say thank you for making us some more money. It's your boy, Anthony O'Neal, and I'm going to see you next week. Peace out.